Well, hello. Welcome to the review.
What is this podcast called? I can't even remember. It's been, yeah, we got it. Coming Upstream, I think, unless we change the name.
Coming Upstream.
Okay.
If you could do me an acting scene for you, I think this would be a little fun exercise since you're an actor yourself.
Yeah.
If you could do the Channing Tatum, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you want to redo that scene where he says, I'm sorry, incessantly like a fucking idiot. If you want to start this review with that from you to me, with the same emphatic bad delivery too, that would mean a lot to me.
I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. Yeah. Well,
I can't because I'm so I can feel my heart pounding.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. This was the worst fucking piece of shit movie I've seen in my entire fucking life.
No. Are you serious?
It is the worst piece of shit movie I've seen in my entire being.
Okay.
I cannot believe how bad it is.
God.
I can't go blind into movies anymore. I can't because I can't afford to waste 90 minutes.
Okay, so it's not allowed for you to just go in with a clear mind, if you want to call it that. You've got to watch a trailer or read some reviews beforehand from here on out. Is that what you're saying?
With this one, I can't.
You knew nothing about this.
No, I did. Yeah. I was trying to make it fun. I saw Blink twice. I saw 6.9 IMDb.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second, and you got to get some interesting nepotism to layer into it.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, okay, in my experience, and I really will say this, I'll say for certainty, if it's a 6.5 to 7.2 or so, it's usually a 7 or 8. It really is. If it's a movie that's been out for a little bit. If it's newer, be careful because there's a bunch of shill stuff. This was shilled so hard. Maybe we'll get into it. So
okay, let me just step in here. We're talking about Blink twice. Directed by Zoe Kravitz. It was her first feature film. I think it's her first anything directing wise, and she co-wrote it with a guy named E.T. Feigenbaum. Not sure how I pronounce that. I did a little bit of digging. They worked together on a show in 2020, and this is only his second credit as some sort of episodic. But this stars Channing Tatum, a few other familiar faces we haven't seen in a while. Christian Slater, Haley Joel Osment from The Sixth Sense, obviously an adult man now. Interesting to see. Simon Rex, who back in the day was a VJ on MTV, and he's turned into a decent actor, I think. And some female actors, one from, what's the show called? Arrested Development. I'm dropping her name. I just know her face. I didn't watch the show. I think Alia Shawkat is her name. The other females, I have no idea who any of them are. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Again, it ruined my day. It ruined my day. I think it's not. I'm not being it's so bad. It's like incomprehensibly bad. And then here's the thing. So you might think, well, here's this guy. He's kind of like he rails on and has out linchpins. Let me do a little fun for everyone on this podcast. Number one, IMDb is owned by Amazon. Little plot reveal for everyone. Number two, MGM is merged with Amazon, who acquired them. Number three, Zoe Kravitz is wildly woke. She has a line in the horrible Batman, which is the worst Batman ever. Mr. Freeze is probably better than it, who says, I don't care about these damn white men getting their money, or some fucking dumb phrase. In the movie. It's in the movie, which is the whole entire plot of this. The whole entire plot is, of course, good-looking, white, rich men who could go to Dubai and pay a woman 0.0001% of their net worth and make them do anything they want. Instead, choose to get the most homely and disgustingly ugly women, which is the new pretty, by the way, to brutalize and rape them for reasons unknown. Why? What power? Why? For what reason? What motivation?
Yeah.
What's the motivation of anything? What I mean, thinking about this when you watch this movie, if you do, and if you do, I recommend don't. Try and steal it. Try and get a torrent of it. Do not watch it. Don't give money to it, please. Need help? Write in the comments. I'll help you with that without getting arrested by the FBI, and how to watch this for free so you don't have to pay money for it, because you shouldn't. It's so bad. Find a motivation for anything. Like for any character, for any subplot. There isn't subplots. For any theme, there's no motivation for even the camera work. It's so bad. Pause. Your turn.
It's so funny because I legitimately convinced myself that you were going to be interested in this, at least because of sort of the thematic elements. And we're obviously going to talk about Epstein Island, because this is maybe sort of a loose play on that. I think, okay, I will agree with you on this. I think the casting choices were clearly bizarre, and but that's such a fucking common thing now in movies, and that's the pitfall that we're going to run into if we want to be sweet and kind about all these things. If we're talking about newer movies that are in theaters, this is just where Hollywood is right now, period. There's nothing around it. Who knows what she had to do with casting? This is how it goes now. It's bizarre. The lead actress, I thought she was a good actress. I'd never seen her before. Really, really unusual, interesting look. Call it whatever you want. But, I mean, the fact that Channing Tatum is fawning over this woman is completely unrealistic. That, for me, is the most unrealistic thing in this film. All right, to go back to character motivations, tie it back to the real shit that's been happening. You take men, sure, they're powerful white men. I get it, what you're saying. But their motivation is clearly to get these women isolated and do whatever the fuck they want with them. And are you telling me that this hasn't happened, or you don't think this has happened, or this isn't true to form?
Sure. Give me some examples of that happening with adult women.
With adult women?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you mean Epstein Island, that sort of thing?
Yeah, this wasn't brave. This was her
I
chance
see what
to
you're saying.
make
So it would have been better if they'd used children.
There was nothing brave about this. I mean, the deep state, which is going to be Hollywood, is not going to let you make a film against itself. They'll never let that happen. When Zoe Kravitz went in and self-inserted herself by making a black woman with short hair and homely features as the lead, it wasn't by accident, which makes the final shot her leading all these people, getting a round of applause, self-congratulating herself for her shitty fucking movie, with her face being a final shot. That was a self-insertion. All they had to do was the board say, hey, who do we get? Can we find someone really narcissistic and totally on plan with what the game plan is to just do this for us? And they pick her, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to cast everyone fucking whoop. Don't worry. They didn't even have to double check. They didn't have a producer or someone else like double check or help with her. She just cast it all. I guarantee it. You know, they might have said, they might have recommended, but of course, all the villains are white dudes. They're all bad white. Anyone notice that? Anyone? Were they even Hispanic? Maybe Indian, Asian, black.
Yeah, and it's so funny, man, because I don't pay attention to that stuff, and maybe that's a flaw of mine or a fault of mine. I watched this in theaters. I did enjoy it. I wasn't alone. The person with me enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I just kind of took it for what it was, and I was pretty confident in suggesting this to you as something that you would at least find sort of engaging and have some source material that was interesting to talk about. But I will say this, man, like we've done a handful of these at this point, and I do think the better movies, I don't want to waste your time, I promise. I do think the better reviews that we do are movies that you fucking hate.
Let's get to the notes here. Fine, and that's fine, because I'll give you some more conspiracies. I just said narcissism, right? Well, if you hear yourself all the time and think you're right, then you become narcissistic. So I stop and say, okay, I need some sort of validation, something. I go to IMDb, I go to user reviews, and I see like 9 best thriller ever. I see bullshit. I'm like, this is clearly bullshit, right? And I know how AI works. It's so easy to, whatever else. Mm-hmm. Then I go to a few. I'm not kidding. Go to yourself. I want you to do this. You yourself in the comments. Go in there and look at like the top 5, which are the most helpful. Yeah. Which puts them to the top. I don't know what happened. They don't have a review. For some reason, those ones show blank.
Really?
It doesn't say 1, 2, 3. It's blank, which is my guess that they fucking went in there and manually took off the review to make sure the score wasn't deboosted.
Right.
I mean, they're wonderful summaries, better than I can. This is where I humble myself before better writers.
Yeah, there's one here. I'm going in 1 stars. This is an uninspired vanity project. I'm not reading the whole review out loud, but yeah. I tend to, after I watch a movie, unless it's just confusing the fuck out of me, I tend to stay away from the feedback. I think because what I've realized is just, am I looking at this to figure out how I really feel? And I think that's so many comment sections and reviews now is people don't form an opinion until they read what other people said about it. And we're less and less a culture of independent thinkers, I think, because of shit like this. Yeah, and I'm opposite. What I do is I watched it. I thought it was bad. I avoided it. I finished. I was going to tell you I couldn't finish it. I was so close. Okay. I tried to put on 1.5x speed, but that feature didn't work for this one movie. It didn't work. It's so funny. So I had to watch it all. So, okay, so you didn't pay for a movie ticket. I got you, and that's not going to red flag anything. You're safe here because no one knows your identity. Oh, come get me. Who cares? You might excitement to my life. Maybe they'll feed me fucking fragrance that makes me black out and brutalize me, and I'll forget about it and make a whole screenplay about it. Yeah, man. Anyway, no, I finished the movie. Then I sit there and I think, I want to see this one guy. He says, like, what world do we live in? And that guy, he's like my spirit in him. I'm like, yes. He's like, what kind of mad world do we live in? Yeah. He says, why are there so many positive reviews about this cliche, stupid, naive, and shallow movie? What the fuck is going on with the world? And I'm like, yes. Yes. Like, I finished it thinking, what happened? It's like one of those cult movies where everyone else is like, slay the goat. And you're the one that's like, what? What happened? How did I get out of this fucking cult? It's bad. But okay, substance. Minor film tip. Don't take a first shot of a woman taking a shit. Maybe. That's probably not the first. I should have known. Shot. You really don't like that, do you? Yeah, I forgot.
Well, because it was purposeful. It's not just because the whole like, Dan doesn't like girls that don't fart shit because girls can't fart shit. It's impossible. Anyway, no, it's because it's purposely made to be crass. It's meant to be. It's a fuck you. It's a girl saying, you're not going to objectify me. The first shot's going to be me taking a shit because fuck you dudes. Like, I'm not your fucking doll. That's what that shot meant. That was purposeful. It was to say, go fuck yourself. I'm just like you. I shit just like you. I'm ugly. I'm whatever. I'm not your pretty Barbie doll, white man. So that was the first shot established. Actually, the first shot was the Geico Gecko or some stupid shit, which is supposed to be some commentary on predatory. I don't know. You can't care less about the characters. Her or her friend, there's nothing redeeming. I mean, it would have taken 2 minutes of backstory. She was beaten as a kid. She never had anything. She tried her hardest. You gave me nothing. Yeah,
I kind of dug the, I don't remember her character's name. The one who was on a reality show at one point, and then she made it to the end. She fought. I was kind of into her character.
She was the only one that had any depth, I'd say.
I think so. But no, I mean, man, like your performances, you're gonna see him the way you're gonna see him. I thought Channing Tatum was really good in this. The other guys did their job; they didn't have too much to work with. But Channing Tatum was, I think, to play this role, it'd be so easy to go over and be big with it. But he didn't do that, except for that one scene where he was saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," over and over again. I thought that was good. I thought it was well played out. I thought he was good. He underplayed it really, really well, and it was believable.
Yeah,
So you hold up. You thought his performance was shit, and you made that clear about the "I'm sorry" thing. That was.
No, that's where I'm trying to be objective with people. I feel bad because what they did is Zoe Kravitz was like, I guess, directing him and said, "Say you're sorry." Like when people have blown you up on social, you really say it. Channel that energy, and so he channeled it in that scene.
Right.
But it's wasted channel energy. It's like saying give me the good cry, the real good cry, Matt. But it's not for something emotionally significant. It's for I don't know. Your favorite Lego set not being at Walmart. Like, what a waste.
Okay.
So she channeled that through him, I guess, or he did, or who gives a shit for like a waste. Like, what a waste. Every part of this movie, like I said, what we should do is this movie and Batman, because I'm not even kidding. Like, this movie really it upset me because it's such good commentary on many layers about everything. What layers we have?
Okay.
Nepotism. Yeah. Nepotism was Zoe Kravitz.
Right.
More of her anti-white bullshit, which is racist, by the way, and it's okay because it's against white. No problem, by the way. We can talk about it. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to put in a movie. If you put that same fucking line with your opposite race, you would be ending your career in Batman, which ruined it and was unnecessary. She's trying to talk about nepotistic power, despite wielding nepotistic power when there's greater writers and directors before that could have made stuff. Don't care that she's a woman. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, that one thriller she made recently, was actually not that bad.
Oh, you saw it?
It was all right.
Is that the one with Dakota Fanning?
Yeah, it was 6'8", 6'9". It wasn't bad.
Wow.
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I finished it and found out after. So not bad. So there's other people that are more worthy of it. But so you got that layer of it. You got the whole Amazon thing where they own MGM, they own IMDb. There's these perplexing 6.9 reviews, and then the ones that matter are like not considered in the algorithm. I don't fucking know what.
Yeah.
You got this, the white man is bad crap. Believe all women, which is literally a scene in it where they say, what are the FBI? They can show up and say, believe all women. Like, it's more political agitprop bullshit. It tries to be brave by using the wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, we're going to address the Epstein Island thing. No, you fucking did it. If it was a brave movie, you would have addressed the fact that a Jewish billionaire that basically entrapped our entire nation through blackmail and coercion of political figures and high other ranking figures, took people to an island which had non-extradition because it's an island and no laws, took children and teenagers, viciously raped and tortured them, filmed it and used it as blackmail, was convicted in court from it, shared a slap on the wrist fucking sentence. His black book dealer, or the guy that had his black book, whatever, served more time than him. And then was arrested again years down the road, mysteriously dies in prison on suicide watch where they lose the cameras and the people watching it were not on their guard shift because there was a water thing outage or some shit like that. If you were actually brave, you would have actually addressed child pedophilia and child exploitation used as a way for blackmail for high-ranking figures, but she didn't. So Zoe, shut the fuck up. You're not bright.
You know, this is a really good thing, and I'm sorry you feel like you wasted your time and this upset you. I don't ever want to upset you. I promise you that, and I know how certain things like that can trigger. Trigger may be the wrong word, but can affect you. And this film obviously bothered you. But I think the fact that you're talking about this is good, because I don't initially see things that way, and maybe it's a flaw of mine. But I really appreciate the fact that you are bringing this stuff up and we can hear it. I mean, I think it's important.
Yeah, and by the way, I love you, and I would never. Yeah, you don't upset me. So for the viewers, just channeling passion for it, because it's frustrating, because that's what it is. I mean, I said a lot there in a diatribe on purpose for maybe some soundbite, but has anyone ever actually looked up the fact that this is like verifiably true, that a dude was like, let's make it simple, a person, billionaire with a lot of power, took children, teenagers, whatever else, helped by Ghislaine Maxwell and many others, to rape and torture children, film it, use it as blackmail against people so they could have coercion over them, did it for a very long time, was arrested, did not serve life in prison, got out of prison, and was rearrested, and seriously died, or was disappeared or whatever. Does anyone care about that? Where's the film about that?
Right.
They use that aura essence as a way to get clicks and views. I know, because if you read on the reviews on IMDb, I think at least half reference Epstein, but then you realize it has nothing to do about it. Nothing. Like, there's nothing even proximal to it, which is a shame. I'm assuming now, this is not fair, I would bet Zoe either knows that or has talked about it, maybe in interviews. I don't know about the latter. And it's just, exploitative.
Fair. Yeah, that's good. I think it's good to bring that up. And you're bringing up the film as well, and the elements that, not to be redundant, I didn't pay too much attention to. I did think, oh, well, these are white guys, and because I knew that it might bother you or be a talking point. Again, I think all your points are very valid when it comes to this. I'm just not reading into it that much as far as a movie goes, because it's just, in my opinion, man, it's just, that's where the business is right now. And it just happens, but I understand why it frustrates you.
Well, then you can even get to movie, take it all away. So I'll refocus the movie. Like, again, opening scene, probably not the best. Okay, fine. But I'm not investing in the character right away, right? Give me, if I were to rewrite this, let me be positive here. I need something, there's tons of ways to do it. You can do the flashback, right? Her being brutalized by her dad, right? Maybe. And then the final shot, what happens? She finally gets it over on her dad. But that wouldn't work, because her dad would have to be white, by the way. But still, something like that, right? Something, she finally came over, right? That's a great finish. Maybe a little cliche, but let's be clear. This is a fucking debut writer-director who's not fucking ready for a debut. So that's one boring way to do it. You could have text messages with her and her mom about something, her sister. There's a million vehicles to make me care about her. She's supposed to be the pure lamb, right? The pure lamb before the slaughter, right? That overcomes all the wolves. I never cared about her. You didn't give me any reason to care about her. Her roommate, I didn't even care about them. They were irredeemable figures. They weren't really interesting. You know what? She's doom scrolling on the pot, late on rent. It shows she's not of means, I guess. Late for work again, being bitched at by a white guy to smile. Don't tell me to smile. That was another insertion. There was nothing there, right? So give me that. In the first hour, there was nothing horrific except for a Hispanic woman, classic, that he doesn't speak English, saying, Red Rabbit. Okay, when she says Red Rabbit, give me a flashback right there of someone bleeding or someone being brutalized. But it didn't. It just said Red Rabbit. I have no foreshadowing. It's just bad film. It's just bad. There's just no redeeming film qualities to it. Someone put it in a review that was they paid actors to just move around and say words. And that's what it feels like.
Well, that's a lot of times what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty common.
All right. I talked way too much. Tell me all
No, man, look, dude, I honestly, I can't capitalize too much on that. I go back to, I think everyone who was cast in this movie did their job and did it well. I do think the casting was bizarre, but I enjoyed the movie. I thought it wasn't that suspenseful. I think the only suspenseful part maybe was when she was going through the shit and he was walking in, and that was just kind of standard editing buildup. But other than that, it fell a little flat for me at the end with the losing your memory with the spray shit. I just felt like that was just reaching a little too hard in a certain direction that was kind of desperate and bizarre. But I think it was effective for me. That being said, man, this is why I like talking to you about this kind of stuff, because you're bringing up elements and you're bringing up themes and you're bringing up facts, I think a lot of times, that I'm not paying too much attention to. We're different kind of thinkers, but it's why we balance out.
Yeah, it's because even I remember that scene, he takes the vape and then mid throat slitting, he stops. Okay, let me understand this. Right. It wipes your memory. Okay, so now you just came through, you have a knife in your hand, you don't know why.
Right.
But okay, the essence of his character was he was an evil man willing to kill people.
Would
correct?
have done it regardless. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, that's confusing. And then how does the memory wiping spray make you be coerced by the woman that you were regularly raping and look like as a, object if you're willing to rape and, brutalize her? How did she get one over on you to make you her little pet?
Yeah. No, you're right. And it didn't add up for me either at the end there. And that was where it fell a little flat. But I think the buildup was nice. And I think her directing style is actually kind of cool. I mean, considering it was her first movie, who knows who she had at her side helping her out. I'm sure she had people. But from what I understand about Zoe Kravitz, I know very, very little. But she's a film nerd. And she's obsessed with movies, and she's passionate, but obviously she's passionate about other things and wanted to convey messages that are clear in this and even more clear now that I'm talking to you. But yeah, either way, I digress.
Yeah, she's really good at doing the same fucking shot 1,000 times and posting up on someone and playing the same score. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look, it's dissonant. It doesn't fit the chord, and that way making it eerie and shaky and throwing you off kilter.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let's close this out. What is there any redeemable quality about it? No, you said this is the worst, so I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. No, let's just keep it where it is. I'm going to go ahead and score it first, if that's cool, because I think I know where you're headed with this one. I'm going to go 6.4 for me, which is a decent, entertaining movie. Nothing, mind blowing, but I watched it. I enjoyed it. That's that.
Hey, you know what, dude? In all honesty, though,
yeah,
6.9 minus 5.9, so a 1.
A 1. That's your lowest. Okay, yeah, true to form.
This Good is deal. Genuinely the worst movie I've ever seen. This is the worst movie. I walked out on Charlie's Angels. I walked out on the Fountain.
Nice. You said The Nice Guys in a previous podcast, I believe, which I couldn't believe. But either way, that doesn't matter at this point. You walked out of The Fountain. I've never seen that movie. Isn't that Darren Aronofsky and Hugh Jackman, Rachel
Aronofsky.
Okay.
I was watching with my brother, and we were both kind of like ADD and didn't want to sit there. I'll give it that. I feel bad about it a little bit. I want to revisit someday.
Yeah.
I think this will be a bad review. Sorry, everybody.
You got a special mind, and this shows it. It's nice for me to hear. I hope it's nice for some other people to hear. Okay, so we got another movie to do. I like it when we do newer movies that neither of us have seen. Do you have anything in mind for our next movie?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So redeeming quality. I love Christian Slater. I love seeing Christian Slater again.
Me too, man. It was nice. Yeah, I really liked him back in the day, and it's good to see him. It's cool she pulled one up for him. But I wonder, he's been around for so long, and he obviously is very, very famous. But I don't know if he was just shunned from Hollywood for a little while. But do you feel like he had any trepidation about jumping into a role like this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing. It's funny you say that. I want to say the same thing. Why did he disappear? He disappeared.
Who knows?
And
maybe he just took some time off, man. I don't know. Because I guess his last kind of big budget, well-regarded film would have been Interview with the Vampire, right?
Yeah, Broken Arrow. I used to like it.
That's so fun. I love that movie, too. Yeah, it's good to see him again. You're right.
If it's not above decent, I don't want to review it.
Well, see, that's the thing, man. I don't know, and I'm fascinated by your opinions, and I think that's why I really enjoy doing this so much, especially when we go in blind. I don't know how you feel about something, but I'm glad we talked about this, and I'm really happy that your opinion is what it is, man. And I think it could open some eyes and some ears for people to consider those elements after watching a movie like this.
Yeah, please don't. I feel bad now because I had so much vitriol. Did we watch fucking Black Adam? Remember that? I wasn't mad at you for Black Adam. I was mad at. Someone put in the comments, they're like, there's a lot of talented writers, director out there like making dog shit nothings that'll never make it.
Right.
And then you have this person given the red card. It's just not fair.
Sure. Given the keys, to the ship immediately. And yeah, man, but that's just fucking par for the course with that business. I mean, the more I pay attention to it and that little bit I'm involved. Yeah, because I've experienced it myself, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, it's only nepotistic, so.